On this week's episode of the Heating Up podcast, the NBA Finals and Stanley Cup Finals are officially set. We have some NFL updates. We're going to talk a little MLB, and then Sarah's just been absolutely saving us with these picks, making everybody some money. So tune in, listen up, and here we go.
Hello, friends. I'm Jim Nance, and I'll welcome you to a tradition unlike any other.
He's heating up!
How about this, Cowboys?
Yeah! He's on fire! Cristiano Ronaldo! Sensational! Boom shakalaka!
You believe in miracles? Yes! There it goes! See ya!
He's heating up!
Trying to get open, fires away!
Fire! It's over! The Bulls win at the buzzer!
Welcome to this week's episode of the Heating Up podcast. And as I mentioned, we finally, after a long-awaited week, what feels like a goddamn month, have the Mavericks versus the Celtics in the NBA Finals. I wasn't ready for the week off. I got to tell you, Mike, you got me excited. You had me believing the series was going to go 7. The NBA didn't want there to be a week off. The NBA wanted those ticket sales, and then I was just sit here with just looking like an absolute dunce, just with no basketball. I didn't know what to do. I felt like I was just sitting there looking at my hands.
We moved the markets too much, so the NBA had to cancel that series. I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
We should have talked offline, guys.
There's always more layers to this thing. This thing goes deeper than we expected.
Yeah, I was right. I mean, I was right. It's just I left too many breadcrumbs. It was too obvious about it. They don't like when you flaunt it like that.
No.
So good job, Adam Silver. Point for you.
You got too greedy with it. But I just have to come out and say it. I'm all in on the Mavericks.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'm a plus money guy. Maybe I just hate Boston that much. But the more I hear every media person talk about the Celtics, how good the Celtics are, they've been so good all year. Porzingis is coming back. I got my 6'8" whiny Serbian brother just ready to take down Boston at the knees.
I'm with you. I have to say, and I can't even believe I'm saying this after I was on my anti-Luka propaganda train for weeks against OKC, and I still find him to be so incredibly annoying. But I don't know. Like I said, the Celtics just don't do it for me. They're not exciting. They're talented players, but I still don't find them very fun basketball to watch. And I feel like just the hype that they've gotten going into it, I just think it would be absolutely hilarious for them to just, lay down and lay an absolute egg in this NBA Finals, or even in a close one. I don't care either way, though. I just think that would be the most exciting thing for anyone who's not a Celtics fan.
100%. Can't you just picture a big old sad Jason Tatum? That's all I can picture is his dumb face. He's like holding his kid who's always on the first row, and they're all sad that Jason Tatum just can't win the big one. It just feels like everything is so primed because all everybody's talking about is, it's just like these next 4 months is going to be the summer of Jason Tatum. What if he wins the title and then he goes and they win a gold medal in the Olympics and then he's up for the Supermax contract? It's just like those things don't happen. People don't he could just have the greatest run ever and then they just do it. One of those things is not going to happen. I'm sure he's going to get paid the Supermax, and I think the gold medal feels like it should. It would be an all-time collapse. If they didn't win the gold medal, or at least make it to the gold medal game. This feels like the thing where it's just stumbling right out of the blocks, having Boston fans confused, do we pay this guy the Supermax? What do we do? It just feels like there's no, it feels like it's so written in stone that the Celtics were going to win this championship from the outset of the playoffs. I just feel like it can't happen. Maybe that's just the Mike Worm in my brain just telling me that it's too clear.
I think the Celtics are going to win in 5 games.
I got to tell you, I've known you forever. You're the best man at my wedding. I just never understand you, man. I try to back you in a corner. I tried to wrap my head around what Mike Blazel is at the core, and you always manage to elude me. You're just you're like a watermelon covered in Crisco in a pool.
I purposely didn't tell you what I was thinking all week, just so that I could drop that one on you. I think they have a better shot to lose the gold medal because Joel Embiid's playing center for USA.
It does seem crazy.
Being honest. And obviously Anthony Edwards, like I've always said, is a big loser. He can't win in the moment. So
you've always
he's
said
on
that,
Team
yeah.
USA.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it Devin Booker? Just a bunch of losers on that team. except for Jason Tatum in a couple weeks. I think the Celtics they're too deep, even if Porzingis isn't at full strength, and they have too much experience. Like they've gotten there so many times that, I mean, this just is really laid out. Like they caught Golden State was a buzzsaw. They got Jimmy Butler and the magical Heat. Like they've had everything that could go wrong. And I think they don't have a guy like Marcus Smart that's going to shoot them out of games. Like they've replaced him with Drew Holiday, who's essentially like a playoff tested championship caliber veteran point guard. And even if you're getting a little bit out of Porzingis, like with Derek White coming off the bench, Peyton Pritchard, they're deeper. Al Horford's going to move to the bench, or however they're going to work out those lineups. I think this is the Mavericks. I think the Mavericks are going to lose. I think the best player on the court is Luka. I don't trust Kyrie. His PR hasn't won me over like it has for you, Sasha.
So I'd say, what would you say the second best player on the court is Tatum? And then who would you put 3?
Jaylen Brown
or Brown? You think Brown is better than Kyrie?
Yes.
I think when it comes down to it, I mean, you're talking about last shots. I can't remember where I heard this. It could have been on Pardon My Take when they were talking. It's like if the game's, they're going to have to win by multiple possessions, because it just feels like if it comes down to the last few minutes in a one possession game, I there's nobody else I want with the ball. I think Luka and Kyrie are 1-2 of who I want with the ball at the end of the game.
Yeah,
I think Karl Anthony Towns gave, in his like ridiculous way of playing basketball, he gave the Mavericks at times problems that I feel like Porzingis, even at like 80%, is a more coordinated, actually a better shooter than Cat, and is going to be something that these young centers and Gafford and Lively aren't going to be able. It's not going to be. I just don't think it's going to work out the same way. The Celtics shoot the 3. Like, I mean, yeah, they could shoot themselves out of the series because they shoot it so much, but I think they're just too talented, and they're like, they are so boring and like almost unfun to watch, but they're in the midst of like an incredibly, like an all-time season. Like there's no, the numbers don't lie. And it's like, if they go and win this, like I think they'll win it in 5. So they lose 1 game in each series. No, they swept the
Pacers. Yeah.
Yeah. So they would have gone through the entire playoffs losing 3 games. I mean, that's up there with like the 0-1 Lakers that lost only 1 game. And there's been some others, but I mean, they're just not right. They don't have that one, like real, like they're trying to make us love Jason Tatum. Like he's a star, but he's just like a weird dude to me. But they are as a collective. I think this is their year.
But if they don't win, I mean, this is the best team they've had. What, they won 67 games or something like that? Like if they don't, I don't know what they do if they lose to this Mavs team, because this Mavs team feels like they have nothing to play for. Like I don't remember what the odds were going into the playoffs, but there was no way that anybody really expected the Mavs to come out of the West. It felt like they were a year or 2 away and felt like they had something good there and would need to build. I mean, obviously their pieces have played great. Like Derek Lively has looked amazing. I still feel like we haven't had like a Tim Hardaway Jr. game yet. Like we haven't seen him hit, like he's due for a game where he'll hit like 5 threes.
Is he due for a game?
Yeah, there's always one. He was on the Knicks for a while. I've watched enough basketball of Tim Hardaway Jr. He's bad most of the time, but 1 out of every 4 or 5 games, it'll be like, oh shit, is he really good? And then the next game you can guaranteed hit his under, because he's not, like, he can't do it for more than like 25 minutes. But like, I haven't heard his name, I think, like at all.
I think he's getting DMPs in these games. He's not even getting off the bench. They're playing Dante Exum.
A former Utah Jazz. Good name. Australian, right? Australian guy?
Yeah, like the number 3 pick in the draft a million years ago. Was out of the league and now worked his way back.
But like, is Porzingis going to come back? And like, how many minutes is he going to play? Is he going to fit back in seamlessly? Is he just going to get hurt again? Because like when they're humming, like he may be the most exciting player on that team. Like I don't know.
I think they could beat him without him.
I don't know. I haven't seen them put together a good game. They kept every single one of those games close through I get that they won all of them, but it's like there was very few like absolutely dominant, everybody killing it performances, crushed the opponent by 40 points through that through the Cleveland series and then through the Indiana series. And it's like a lot of the best players weren't playing. Like they haven't had to play one, let alone two players like Luka and Kyrie. So now it's like they're going to have to play a fully healthy, very, very, very talented team, and that's not something they've had to do in like 3 weeks, 4 weeks.
Yeah.
I mean, Jason Tatum and like Giannis are the only guys like with like the sheer like size and mass that could really give Luka like a hard time.
But does Jason Tatum want it enough? Does Jason Tatum care enough on defense to get leaned on by Luka for 48 minutes for multiple games in a row?
Listen, I'm not. I would love. There's nothing I want to do more than bet the Mavericks. But
you're a plus sign bandit.
There's a plus sign next to that thing. I just think this is one of those, like, it's just, I feel like they are gonna. It doesn't matter if they have to want it. I think they're like have an overwhelming amount of talent when you really break it down 1 through 7.
Yeah.
And it's like Kyrie floats in and out of these games. Yeah. Kyrie gets like you said, his PR department. My God. I watched some of those Timberwolves games, and I'm like, you forget he's out there for stretches.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I feel like at this point, if you're looking at it on paper, the Celtics are a far deeper team, and at this point, in this far in the playoffs, it's all about whether the Mavericks, in order to win this, like they're going to have Luka and Kyrie show up nearly every night at the top of their game, maybe like one game with an off game for one of them, but there's no way that, they're going to need both of them producing at very high levels in order to come out of this with a win.
And they're both going to have to play defense.
Yeah.
Real defense. And Derek White shaved his head.
He is,
so he doesn't have that like on his mind anymore, literally, figuratively.
True.
These are the little things that we talk about on this podcast that other places don't. I think a bald, more confident. He's more he's in touch with himself. He's your mental health is your wealth.
That's so true. It's one of those things where like Zuckerberg wears the same outfit every day, so he doesn't have to like waste the mental energy on deciding what to wear.
Exactly.
He doesn't have to. He doesn't have to spend.
Like it's an all business move.
Right. All that pregame effort trying to hide the hairline. He doesn't have to worry about it anymore.
Why do you think LeBron hasn't won more titles?
Think about how good Luka would be if he didn't have to spend all that time putting on all of his accoutrements.
Garments. Yeah.
Tiger Woods, if he couldn't wear a hat, would not be nearly the golfer he is today.
He's got to just shave it. That is every tournament he's in, he takes that hat off. It's a worse and worse look. Speaking of style, what are your thoughts? I thought I hated them at first, but now I'm growing to like them. Those Kyrie moccasin shoes that he keeps wearing with the tassels. I feel like he's starting something there. There's shit hanging off of them. It's a whole new thing. I feel like in the next couple years, everybody is going to have like stuff hanging and dangling from their shoes. And then maybe somebody's going to roll an ankle. Someone's going to get caught on something, and they're going to be banned.
Maybe people would just start dressing like full Native Americans. Maybe we have like a full revert back, like the Guardians become the Indians again, and we get Chief Wahoo. Kyrie is Chief Wahoo.
The more things change, the more they stay the same.
He's gotten off the Jews and he's on to appropriating the Native American culture.
Yeah, he's like, please, they're Indians.
Oh my God! Randomly, I had somebody that I work with tell me, that Kyrie's a smart guy, and I was like, what? Because I had the podcast on, and he's an older guy, and he goes, he's like the highest IQ in the NBA, and I just thought of you guys being like this. The PR on the amount of it's unbelievable. It's God bless this guy. If LeBron, imagine if LeBron could spin it so he'd be less hated like Kyrie.
That's got to be the dumbest guy in the capital region. Make sure you're playing this part of the podcast next time you get in the car.
Yeah. Hey, check out my newest episode. Don't listen to the last 14 minutes.
Unreal. But then the only other thing I had on this is I couldn't tell. I thought I was going to hate it. I was upset. Do we actually hate this break before the finals? I feel like this eased me in to the summer. Because it was been so long without basketball. I almost feel like now I'm excited for the finals. Now it felt like, I have a little bit more of a treat. It's like, I'm Jewish, so I'm new to this whole Christmas thing. But obviously marrying into a Christian family. It feels like you thought you opened up all the presents, and then it feels like you went throughout the morning, and then it's like maybe lunch, and you guys like waiting for dinner, and then it's like you notice there was a little present left under the table there for you, and it's like, ooh, wait, there's something behind the tree. There is something. There's more. So now it just feels like bonus basketball. I thought I was going to hate it. It's been a very, very boring week, but now it's like, ooh, we got a whole NBA Finals left. That's nice. Feels like you're saving the last curly fry.
It is.
I've been on football. I'm out. I mean, I'm in for the pod,
anymore.
but like I'm out. Yeah, that was you shouldn't have done that, NBA. I've been watching Josh Allen highlight tapes and Bills. We signed 8 of our rookies. I'm still trying to figure out. There's a lot of moving parts. Football season never ends.
All right, well, that is a wonderful transition into the NFL updates. Sarah, Justin Jefferson deal, 4 years, $140 million, $110 guaranteed. That's not a small amount of money.
Not good. Obviously relating this back to the Cowboys, CeeDee Lamb is due for a contract extension. He's holding out of OTAs as we speak right now with, waiting for that deal. And I don't know, debate to be had. CeeDee Lamb versus Justin Jefferson. I think
Justin Jefferson.
I think this is going to be, you might find this shocking coming from me, but I feel like CeeDee is going to end up coming in just a little bit below Jefferson. I don't think he should get more. I don't even think he should get equal. Maybe like, I don't know. I don't even know how to break down a little bit more. What's a little bit more when you're talking about this much money? Not sure. But
a skosh more.
I feel like he's not yet worthy of it. CeeDee Lamb had an incredible year last year, but it built as the season went. It really was like he has recency bias on his side because as the season went, his numbers just grew and he really wasn't that great early on. And then it kind of, cumulatively overall stats are inflated from all of that. But if you're going to continue to get the production from him that we got the second half of last year, I think he's all worth the money. But it still hurts having this, them beat you to the punch and kind of set this high standard that CD's probably going to be expecting something in the ballpark of.
CeeDee Lamb was won me a lot of money in fantasy football.
Yes,
fantasy football
big
MVP,
fantasy here.
CeeDee Lamb. Well, co-MVP with Josh Allen, but
of course,
because you never draft a quarterback in the first round. Yeah, suck it, everybody. I love Justin Jefferson. I also love CeeDee Lamb though. I think they were both doing it with like average quarterbacks. Sorry about Dak. I think he's like above average.
About Kirk Cousins.
About Kirk Cousins. He's got a little Kirk Cousins in him.
Touch of it.
A touch.
He's got a touch.
A skosh.
I think a scotch. Yeah, a scotch, a smidge.
I've heard enough of that word too.
I think they're both. I mean, I would have to we got to get Anon back on because I'm like, I don't know. I feel sure, pay him, whatever. I don't know what that is with the cap. It doesn't look good. I wouldn't love a Buffalo Bill getting signed. There's not one guy I want to pay that much money to. So, there's one guy.
Yeah, but now he's so right. You mentioned it or not. It feels like I've been thinking about these contracts so differently ever since. It feels like you just got to jump on the train right away because if you're not paying him this year, you're gonna just have to pay him more next year because if not, you're gonna have to pay him even more the next year because it's just gonna keep going up. And it's like this 4-year deal. Justin Jefferson probably in 3 years, this 110 guaranteed total, whatever's left on that contract is gonna seem like a steal. For like a 27, 28-year-old Justin Jefferson going into another year that they may, have another chance to be able to do, sign him for another couple of years. So it's just like, I feel like you got to sign these guys. If you've got a guy like CD, you got a guy like Justin Jefferson, sign them first because your signing is going to have to be the highest one that's ever happened to a football player, to a person ever. So it's like, might as well just get it done now because the highest one ever next year is going to be higher than this year.
Yeah.
Definitely with setting the market, but also what are the Vikings? What are they realistically? Where are they projecting themselves to finish this year? Are they rebuilding? Because then I would do the Bill Belichick. I would trade this guy.
Yeah, they must not be. Then I don't.
It's so hard, especially in football,
receiver.
it's so hard to just sell everybody. You think maybe they're doing it? They sign him this year. See if JJ is going to work out. If he shows glimmers, and then if not, try to move him.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, we got out of the Diggs contract, and Diggs is older, and it just shows that was a contract nobody thought you could move, and you can move anything. I don't think they'll want to move on for it. I just wonder where that handcuffs them for like real team building. Like team building is done at the lines. Like that's where you gotta have money to spend up there, or you gotta really draft great. So like, are the Vikings going to be like real contenders in this 4-year window? I don't know. I doubt it. I don't think so.
Especially with the way that the NFC North is looking.
And it's the same thing with the Cowboys. Like you can't pay CeeDee Lamb before you pay Dak. You have to pay Dak.
Right. You need to solidify your quarterback plans for the future. Because obviously, if we are planning to go into rebuild, like you said, who puts that much money into a top tier wide receiver?
And then if you're the Cowboys, like unless if you really believe he's that generational, you feel that much pressure from your fans. Like there's a team. It's like you'll get a free agent wide receiver. You're the Cowboys.
Right. Yeah.
Like if someone's going to give you 2 first rounds and a third rounder for CeeDee Lamb, and you don't have to pay that money, and you could spread it out other places. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, again, you have to. Where are they this year? Where are the Cowboys this year?
No one. We still don't know. Unclear.
You guys could be in a retooling if Dak's your guy. I mean, Minnesota doesn't have a quarterback. It's what's his face, Sam Darnold, to start the year.
Oh, you don't think McCarthy's coming in to start?
I mean, they start all the rookies too soon and ruin their careers. I think
you're probably right. Well, maybe I mean, if he was sitting behind Sam Darnold, he'll get mono and he'll be forced to be out for like 8-9 weeks.
Right. Well, yeah, when they cut and they're just kissing on the sideline, and it's like, damn it.
Classic Minnesota.
Who's the third string? Who's the third string? Where's Carson Wentz?
The Chiefs.
He's on the Chiefs. Never mind.
But Sarah, you had to write this on here. The Giants killed Darren Waller. Is that you? Do you have any more mean stuff?
I don't know if you guys have seen this. So I guess Darren Waller was. I'll give a little pop culture update. This is as far as I get into it. And I'm probably going to butcher it, but Darren Waller was married to WNBA star Kelsey Plum for approximately. Yeah, she's a star.
Okay.
I don't know what team she plays for. Vegas, the Vegas team. I think that's how they met when he was on the Raiders, obviously. And then they were married for about a year, and then that was all the drama. They got married, and then they traded him to the Giants literally I think within the weeks of them getting married. They have since gotten divorced already. He dropped some sort of what people thought was potentially a diss track since then. Did you hear it? Did you hear his song? Oh my God, it's so bad.
You haven't heard it?
No.
Sasha, you haven't heard it? Oh my God.
No, I've seen these headlines and I have actively, and I'm just like, just retire. Just retire.
It's like auto-tuned up like nothing you've never heard. It's still bad. It's still bad with a ton of auto-tune.
And it's dissing Kelsey Plum, his ex-wife?
So people, no, it's not actually, people thought it was a diss track, but then I think it was more just about how he was the one at fault here and he was difficult to love and all that stuff. But people thought it was a diss track because he had someone in the music video that looked like her. But it didn't really show the face of this person, but it looked just like her. So people thought it was a diss track without actually listening to the lyrics because it was that bad. But I guess when you look at the lyrics, he came out and said that it was about him and how difficult he is to love and such.
Can I play a little bit?
Yeah.
Can you hear this?
No. Yeah.
Hey. Everybody's logging out.
All right, we got to stop this.
Climb up?
We got to stop this. Oh my
It's
God.
bad. It's bad. I'm texting it to you.
It's really bad.
That just seems like one of those things. Like especially
He's
as
definitely using drugs again.
Especially as you become richer and more famous, like you need to have some people in your circle that'll tell you no.
Mm-hmm.
You got to have somebody that's like, "Hey, man, maybe this one's just for us. Like maybe we don't, maybe we don't put this out there." Okay, it just, oh my God! I still remember my favorite
Antonio
sitcom.
Brown did it.
My favorite sitcom, 30 Rock, is there's a whole thing where they were out drinking on St. Patrick's Day, and they're making fun of the drunk Irish people, and whatever they start having. There's like two people that start having like an emotional conversation outside, and there's just two drunk people that walk by. They're like, "Wait, is it the time of St. Patrick's Day where we get to talk about our feelings?" He just turns to his buddy, he's like, "I don't understand your art, Jeff." Just feels like somebody just needs to be like, "Hey, Darren, man, like you don't need to put that out there. You're an athlete. You're rich. You're famous. You
dude, don't do that, man. But whatever. He got divorced. It sounds like he's probably going through some terrible emotional stuff, and this is his expression of that. I think you need to retire because we got a formidable.
Well, he is. That's where I was going with this. He's saying that he's likely. I mean, you maybe know more about this, but more about this than me being in the Giants, circle, I guess. But it seems like he is going to retire after all this, which is sad. It feels sad for him how this all played out, but
yeah, I don't know
why he could just keep playing football.
I don't think he can. He didn't last year.
I think he's incredibly overrated too.
Yeah, I think we paid a lot of money, and I don't think we really got much of anything. I was very hopeful last year.
One good year. He had one good year, and he was famous on Hard Knocks.
Yeah, I think Hard Knocks did it. Hard Knocks guy.
Everyone liked the story, and it was a good story to hear about him. It was a good, success, feel-good story, and unfortunately, going to New York wasn't good for that, I guess. I don't know.
He's walking around in that music video like he's way more famous than he really is. Like, he's like, this is like a man who thinks he is like a star.
I mean, he signed an enormous deal for so many millions of dollars, and everybody around him is telling him that he's that big of a star, and it's got to be hard to to realize that, hey man, you can't rap or make you're not a great songwriter. The thing that worries me is that he hasn't retired yet. The Giants expect him to retire. It's like, okay, well, what's going on and why hasn't he? Is he going to hold us hostage? Because we got Daniel Bellinger, Theo Johnson, and Jack Stoll ready to take his place with our formidable. We got a hell of a lineup of people that can at the skill positions here in for the New York Football Giants. But at least they're actually
good, right.
He's fine. Whatever. I mean, he whatever. He's a good blocking tight end. He can catch a little bit. Whatever. We drafted Theo Johnson, and then I don't really know much about Jack Stoll. But what I do have a question for you, Mike. Are the Bills getting a little too cutesy signing Gable Steveson? Now they're pulling some wild shit going into the depths of the wrestling world to try. This seems a little too crazy for me. This seems like something that if the Chiefs did it, it'd be like, oh, maybe they know something. The Bills, I'm like, oh no, what's happening? What are they up to?
Do you know the other fun fact about him?
What?
Oh, you guys don't know. He also escaped a rape charge on a technicality.
I did know that. Yes.
Yeah.
I
liked it until I saw that part, and I was like,
that's always the best way to get out of a sexual assault charge is technicalities.
Right. It's not that it didn't happen; it's that they couldn't prove it. I mean, there's these things. These things happen. We got to get a couple dogs in that locker room. You know what I mean?
You got one.
I've said we've got to get it. Look, the Chiefs have got Rashee Rice is crashing his car into people. Harrison Butker's evil to women. What else we got? There's another bad guy in there. I mean, Tyreek Hill was obviously not a saint. We need to get harder. So now, if you don't win that game, he's going to be waiting for you in the locker in the showers.
I think he's a terrifying looking man. Obviously, the physical specimen that's all there. Clearly, I mean, the guy's enormous and is multiple gold medalist. I think the greatest collegiate wrestler of all time. But I'm very curious to see how that translates to an NFL player. Is he going to make the 53-man roster?
No. I was going to say, I don't think you're going to see it. I don't think you're going to. You'll never get the chance.
That's too bad.
Things don't usually. It's like the giant offensive lineman, Travis Clayton. He never played a snap of football in his life, but he's like the size of the mountain from Game of Thrones. I don't think we're ever going to really see that.
Right.
But maybe they want him to play defensive tackle. They think he's like an Aaron Donald. Okay.
It's like if you just saw both of them in shorts, walking on a football field, yeah, then you'd be like, that guy looks like Aaron Donald. But then, you got to actually see him play.
Then you know what it is.
What if he just chokes out a center, into a full submission, and the flags are out, and he's just that's it. Joe Thuney is out.
Because
eyes popping out of his head.
He's just like a hockey goon. He just comes in to just get in a fight with your best player.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It seems crazy, but I wouldn't think too much into it. There are things like this that happen. Not that often, but I bet you there's a story like this every year where teams take these flyers on guys who maybe could have cross sport potential.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have Chase Claypool now, though, so who cares? Everything's gonna be
pool.
fine.
It's a pool party. It's a pool party everywhere but out my house. Shout out Majestic Pools. I wish we could do a segment on why I'm so pissed at the service industry.
Can we do an anti-ad for them?
Yeah, it's a non-pool party. Your only job is to open pools, and you've come 3 times and not open my pool. Thank you.
Glad they're showing up. It's not like it's been hot out or anything.
Yeah, or just that I paid them and they already charged me full price. Thank you.
Now, well, speaking of other things that are hot, the New York goddamn Yankees are on an absolute tear. I'm not sure if you guys have been watching, but this 7-2 West Coast road trip they just finished up. They're 8-2 in their last 10 because they just beat the Twins last night. They are unbelievable, and they're literally looking so good that it's making me nervous because I haven't felt this good about a Yankees team in probably 3 years since that like outrageous first half we had. I think it was 3 years ago, 2021, where we were like on a pace, breaking every record, winning every game. Even that felt like that was kind of put together with like sticks and duct tape. This one just feels so real. Like it's not just like everybody's hitting home runs. Obviously, Aaron Judge can't stop hitting home runs, but it feels like we're actually hitting the ball. We got different players at different times getting hot. I love, obviously Juan Soto is absolutely incredible. I'm blanking on his name right now. The guy we got from Boston,
Verdugo.
Alex Verdugo has been just playing unbelievable, and he seems like he's a real locker room guy. He's always got like big silly chains, and even the games that he's off, it's like the camera's always on him. He's just like shooting the shit with all the players, and it seems like whoever's doing the right thing at the right time, Verdugo's around, like first guy out of the dugout, dapping everybody up. Luis Gil has been amazing. I mean, he's pitched, I think it was at least 6 innings and allowed 1 or 0 runs in something like 7 or 8 straight starts. And I mean, this was the last guy in the rotation to replace Garrett Cole when he went down. So it just feels like everybody's stepping up.
He's the best young Yankee pitcher since, like Andy Pettitte.
I would probably agree with that. He also seems like a guy
all these other guys flamed out. I mean, honestly, the guy I compared him to, because I was actually talking about this last night as he was just, doing his thing again. Jabba Chamberlain. This is like this young guy just coming and, he's a Cy Young. I mean, like he's got to be up there for the Cy Young. He's got an ERA under 1.9. It was like 1.87, 1.86 now.
Yeah, he's like first or second in all the major stats. I mean, there's a very, like, if the All-Star game was tomorrow, there's a very real chance that he'd be starting it.
Yeah, he's awesome. And like I've always thought that was the hardest thing about the Yankees is like these pitchers can't perform at Yankee Stadium, and like this guy seems to not have a problem with it. Obviously Garrett Cole doesn't. Carlos Rodon was a guy when they signed him, I loved it because I've seen him pitch and he's not scared of shit. And then what's his Stroman? Like the Yankees have a real serious and nasty Nestor. These are guys that are not like, this is throwback to like the Yankees that we grew up with like, we got some pitchers out there that are not afraid of the moment. 100%. Judge is amazing. Volpe is going to be a real star in the league.
That's all everybody keeps talking about.
You still don't have Jason Dominguez.
Forgot about that guy.
The Martian.
Yeah. Great name.
I mean, you don't have Garrett Cole, and this guy was had to have Tommy John surgery, I think is what happened to him. Wait till he comes back. Like he was a guy projected like 5-tool like star player.
Yeah.
In the majors. Like the Yankees they've turned it around.
Yeah, I am just so excited. And going back to Heel for a minute, I love that he has the number 81. That just feels like a badass move. You don't really see, like, I can't picture like a Yankee pit, like any pitcher, let alone like somebody on the Yankees rocking the 81 on the mound. Seems cool. And then also maybe the scariest thing about him is the neck tattoo that just says "God bless me" right across the front of his throat. That's horrible. That guy's seen some shit. I don't want to go out and try to hit a guy that just decided to get his throat blasted with "God bless me."
I've been considering something similar.
I think it looked good on you, actually.
Right? Me too. Stay tuned. Maybe I'll do it live. Maybe we'll do like a live at the tattoo shop.
There's no other way to do that.
Yeah.
If the Yankees win the World Series, I'll get that tattoo on my neck.
Clip it.
Here.
Oh man, it's coming.
I
thought I was excited before.
Really small.
Yeah,
really small right there.
Tied for the best record of the MLB with the Phillies, who just played, I think, 1 million home games and have just played terrible teams. And then Still the Orioles hot on our trail. I think only 2.5 games back, despite how hot the start is. So I did have a wonderful conversation this weekend with the original podcast listeners know, Mr. Mike Buckley, about the Orioles. So we're gonna have to get together and watch some games this year.
Yeah, we'll bring him on. I'm not in baseball mode yet, so if needed, he'll come on and represent them.
Hell yeah. And then getting into it, as I mentioned at the top of the show, Stanley Cup playoffs are also set. I have been getting into some hockey. I was really hoping that for some reason over this week where there was no basketball, that there would be hockey. No hockey also. Pretty tiring. I was hoping really hoping that the Rangers would be able to pull through. But at least now the Oilers are in it because I feel like having a Canadian team in the Stanley Cup playoffs is just exciting because those barns are absolutely rocking. Connor McDavid is unbelievable. That goal he scored like through his legs in the last game was unbelievable. So, I mean, fuck Florida. I really don't care about them. The Florida Panthers seem like, are they the most forgettable franchise in all of professional sports?
They're up there.
I hate hockey teams in warm cities. I feel like you have to be able to manufacture. You have to be able to have ice naturally. That should be a rule.
Yeah, it's just a rule. Yeah, but that's
it doesn't feel good that they're good. Like, it feels wrong that they're good. Like you said, hockey teams in warm states. It feels fake.
And going back to that, this is now the 5th year in a row that the team from Florida has been in the Stanley Cup Finals, which is crazy. It was 3 straight years of the Lightning and then now 2 straight years of the Panthers. So I'm all in on Edmonton. I'd like to see Canada burn itself down or go crazy, whatever Canada would do. So I'm excited for that. Why not? I don't know how close I could get to Edmonton on a map, but I think it'd be like.
Is there another reason why you're excited for Edmonton? They've got great fans.
They got a pair of great fans.
Great fans. Great fans. Great fans in the stands. Keep it up.
Keep up the good work. So very excited about that.
You know.
Also going back to I forgot to bring this up earlier. The NBA Finals, the scheduling thing. Who is deciding this? So first game is Thursday, and then the second game is Sunday at 8 p.m. Like what? Why are they so against just doing primetime Friday, Saturday games? Of all, like if they play all 7 games, only one of the 7 will be played on a Friday or Saturday. Like that would be
8 p.m. on a Sunday. I thought Sundays were meant for earlier games when that's the only game going on.
No, I just don't get it. I don't. Maybe it's because they just think it's summer and that people won't be watching games like on a Friday or Saturday night. I just don't get it. It goes Thursday, Sunday, Wednesday, and then a Friday, Monday, Thursday. There's two games would be on Thursdays, 2 games would be on Sundays. Whatever. I don't get it. I feel like maybe I'm missing something. Maybe I'm totally wrong here, but it's like, I want to plan like a weekend. I want to plan a whole Friday or a whole Saturday around being able to like go somewhere and watch some of those games with friends. So it's just like, this doesn't, maybe I'm wrong, but it's annoying.
No, I feel like every other day game is nice. Like you can account for it and plan for it, be like night on, night off. When it's 2 nights in between, like I might forget. Not early because I'm looking forward to it, but like next week I could see myself being like, oh, what night was that on again? And then you forget, and it's just you get into watching hockey because they play far more frequently. So then if you're following the Stanley Cup, I don't know. It's not I agree, not a smart move by the NBA.
Whatever, maybe I'm missing something. And then also, you just need to talk about it quickly. Kylian Mbappe, probably the greatest soccer player in the world. He was on PSG for a while. He just signed.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, what is this soccer?
This is soccer. He just signed with Real Madrid, so literally the team that just won the Champions League just signed the greatest player who I think is he's 22 now. So it just feels like it was the team, you know how when KD joined the Warriors, it feels like KD was already on the Warriors and then they also just happened to sign they just signed Jokic as well. So it's just like for the world of soccer, it's stupid, it's annoying. I don't like it. I don't know how you fix it because obviously there's no salary cap and players can go to any country, any team, do anything they want. But it's just like it just feels like the rich keep getting richer and it's not fun. I don't care. It just feels like that team can just win everything and I don't like it.
I noticed how you buried this very far down on our outline for today, and then you also wrote a name that Mike and I would not recognize, so we wouldn't know what sport this was.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha, guys.
He snuck it in. It's just, you can't trust this guy. I've been saying it since the day I met you. I said it at your wedding in front of everybody, your friends and family. You just can't trust you.
Yeah, I guess I haven't heard you guys once thank me or my people for the weather we've been having recently. So whatever, this is what I get. This is I get to have a little bit of
seen
mine.
a good amount of cloud seeding over my house. Thank you.
Yeah, just want to let you know that we're here and we're thinking about you. So next time you think about being mean to me, we got thunderstorms on way, buddy.
Well, I have to add something in before we do heat check because going on, I think this is up in probably in popularity with Sasha's soccer talk. Tour de France, everyone. I need you guys getting prepared. Starts at the end of this month, June 29th. Unhinged. That would be such a great name for it. Unchained. Unchained season 2 is on Netflix. I guess I'm free adding. Documentary of last year's Tour de France. So you'll set this, sets the scene. You'll know some names going into this year. That's how I got into it last year. I watched Unchained season 1 before the Tour de France, so learned some names, got the concept. I gave it, Mike was not here, so the real original people will know, but it's complicated. Following the Tour de France is very complicated. It's hard to know, kind of the purpose, GC, just everything. So just watch a documentary, get yourself accustomed, and a couple weeks. I think the documentary comes out or series next week on the 11th, I believe. So you'll have a couple weeks before Tour de France starts on the 29th to get up to speed for it.
I love that they're doing this because it's this whole the model of the drive to survive. I mean, obviously the NFL didn't need to do it, but it's the what's the show where they follow the
quarterback.
The team? No.
Oh, the golf even did it.
Yeah,
I forgot what that was called.
Full swing.
Hard
Knocks.
Hard Knocks. There it is. That's the one. But it just feels like it's the best way to get anybody in it. It's like I didn't give a fuck. Like we just said, it got us like believing Darren Waller was a good player for years and years. Mm-hmm. Like all of these documentaries, when they're done well, it can pretty much make you fall in love with anything. But the Tour de France one was the Unchained is amazing, and when I watch that, I want them all on juice. That's my only thing. It's like science keeps getting better. Let's get these guys juiced up.
They're just smart.
I want to be juiced up while I watch them.
You're just like
I can really feel like what it's like.
You can bet on Mike, so you'll be in. They're in DraftKings.
Can you really?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like the favorite, like minus 10 million. Isn't there always one guy who's like obviously going to win?
Yeah, but the guy who won last year, who's won the past 2 years in a row, he had a really bad crash a couple of weeks ago, was in the hospital for over 2 weeks with a lung contusion and a collapsed lung. So you might either two options here. I didn't look what the odds are, but that might be a good, he might be at good odds right now, or that means, I don't know, things are more neutralized and you could go for someone else. So
ask the doctor, is he going to be, should I bet on this guy? What's his name?
Let me report back next week. I got a deep dive on this. I'm not a cycling expert here, but I have to imagine that biking through the Swiss Alps after having a collapsed lung for, quite some time, that might impair your aerobic capacity for sure.
But it's high altitude, so less density, so you don't need to expand your lungs as much. Is that true?
That was a lot of talking to say nothing, really.
I think that's also the opposite. Yeah.
That's going to be on my tombstone.
Lower oxygen. They're at lower oxygen.
Here lies Michael Robert Blazel. A lot of talking.
Say nothing. Yeah, say nothing.
Oh my God. But also, shout out. Thank you, Sarah. I want to give you a public shout out for making me feel better. Mike, I haven't told you this either. I was keeping this a surprise for now. I had to call Sarah for a real medical question over the weekend. I was able to go golfing on Friday. Shout out Matt. And his buddy was in the woods, took a golf shot, went off a tree, and smoked me in the head. So mild concussion for about 48 hours.
No way.
Yep, was feeling pretty loopy. No, nailed me right on the top of the head. So can't really see it. It's under here. But was feeling pretty loopy for about 48 hours. And Sarah told me everything was going to be fine. And I don't need to go to the hospital unless I start throwing up.
And you didn't throw up. So we made it.
Yes. Survived, feeling much better now.
Throw up right now.
Take me to the hospital.
That's crazy. That's what you get for not golfing with me on when I can't play on Friday. You can't play. That's the rules.
That's the rules. I don't make
That's how it goes.
Wow,
that's crazy. I would have given I would have thrown up laughing to see that.
It was not fun. We did not see the ball coming anywhere. We just heard it hit the tree, and then kind of looking around. Then felt like a brick hit me in the head.
Did you fall down?
No, I managed to save it, but then I took whatever. I went down, took a knee. Thought everything was kind of funny.
Did you yell?
Against the police?
I did not yell. It was shaking and confused. The ball went like 30 yards away from my head. Like it rocked me.
So you get smoked with a golf ball, and all of a sudden you're Kyrie's number one fan.
Yeah.
I think it's a severe concussion.
It was bad enough. Matt has texted me like 4 times, just like, "How's the noggin?" He's just making sure I'm like still alive.
Are you responding with gibberish letters? Because if not, you're doing this so wrong.
Responding
like THCCCCC period exclamation point.
just responding
Eggplant emoji.
in perfect Mandarin. I've been just sending messages. I'm now really good at the piano.
I can read so fast now, Matt.
All for the better. It did not make me play better. There was part of me that's like, what if I'm great at golf now? I was not. It made me worse. But Sarah, another shout out. Thank you. You're the only person that is winning these bets. Mavs +5 was the only winner there. Rangers lost. Timberwolves lost. We're dragging you down, and we need you to continue to soar above us.
Well, this week I'm iffy about where I want to go this week, but I think I'm going to take the Mavs again. +6.5 is the current line.
Love it.
I don't know. I'm torn on this because I do feel like they're going to have to win this game to cover, if that makes sense. Because like everyone kind of said, I don't think the Mavs are going to pull this out in a close one. Maybe a 5-point game is safe. I mean, if you want to even push it up to that. 6.5, feel like, I don't know. I feel like they could cut it in there, but I feel like they're just going to have to win this game. So if you're feeling like it, you probably should just take the money line, but I'm going to be conservative and go +6.5.
I agree. I like that. I think that's exciting.
I like
6.5 feels like a lot of points, and I am with you. Mike, what do you got? Let's you and me. Let's turn this boat around.
Well, I'm turning the boat around and flipping it over because my pick is Mindframe at 7-2 to win the Belmont Stakes.
Ooh, Belmont pick. Love it.
Let's go in Saratoga.
Big
So
shit.
it's a little bit of a shorter. It's a shorter track than the traditional Belmont. So people will say, does this even count? This is an asterisk like the Bubble Championship. The jockeys, my man Irad Ortiz Jr. I feel like every time I don't pick him to win something, he wins. It's the fastest horse out of the group, and so we love speed, short track, speed. And 7-2. I mean, he's one of the favorites. That's my man.
Get it in.
So
Get it
we
early.
gotta have
Get it early.
We gotta have a winning mind frame, guys.
I like that.
Let's bet on mind frame.
Big fan. I'm going to take it right now before any odds change. I love that.
Yeah, because we're gonna move it again. They're probably gonna shoot that horse after I said that.
They're going to put him down like they put down that guy in the Tour de France who broke a lung.
Yeah, right.
They treat him poorly over there.
Now be careful on your pick here before you go, because you might be able. This might be the start of a segment called "Sasha got a concussion and now he is an incredible gambler."
We can't lose
You
this
can't do
year.
that if you miss this one.
I'm not gonna lie. I placed one bet I've placed 2 bets since it, and I've hit both of them. Chris Kreider to score a goal in the Rangers game, and then Chris Kreider, and then also I was just looking at other bets on Tuesday, I think. I don't remember what day it was. I was looking at for players to hit a home run, and for some reason I just gravitated toward the Phillies game and saw Rhys Hoskins. And I remember from when Andrea was in school there, we would go to games, and Rhys Hoskins is now on the Brewers, who were playing the Phillies. He used to be on the Phillies, so I bet him to hit a home run, and he did. So we're on a hot streak.
He's got brain damage. It's happening.
Or as my
Take
grandpa said, you didn't really have any brain cells to lose, so he wasn't worried about me. That's why I called it. I'm taking it home. We're staying hockey. I'm going Oilers +1.5. It's Canada. Whatever. Bet on Canada over Florida. That's it. Don't overthink it.
I like it.
And then also
I got 1.5 plus over 1.5 reasons why I'm a big fan now.
And then also a little teaser. I didn't want to lock this one in as my pick, but I can see Kyrie just going in and ripping the souls out of these poor Boston fans. You can take him 30 plus points at +300. So I want Kyrie +30 to come in and just absolutely ruin the Celtics.
Post that one, because I want to remember all these. I'm tailing Sasha and taking him down. I'll take him down myself. I'll mush all these bets. Don't you worry.
You can't break this ruined brain. Maybe you get me out on the golf course and just tee off on my head. For this week, we got Sarah, the Mavs, +6.5. Mike taking Mind Frame in the Belmont Stakes here in Saratoga. And then I am taking the Oilers +1.5. And if you want, you got an extra little teaser of Kyrie, 30 plus points at +300. So maybe we'll go into the weekend we'll take some extra money to be able to roll into Mind Frame after Kyrie drops 30 and the Mavericks win the game. Very
Love
excited.
it.
I love it.
Love it. So beautiful. Well, as always, thank you guys so much for listening. We appreciate you as always. Listenership is growing. Share it. Tell your friends. Tell everybody that you know. And watch us on YouTube. You get to see these beautiful shining faces. And we're always adding more and more stuff, adding some logos, adding some music, all sorts of fun things. So we love you. We care about you. Tell all your friends. Follow us on Instagram. And we will talk to you next week.